We believed the walls were eternal. We believed God would never abandon his city. We believed the warnings were only stories told to frighten children. From the hills, we could still see the sacred skyline of Jerusalem, white stone glowing under the morning sun. The temple stood at its heart. The city of David stood firm. But beyond the horizon, an empire was moving.
Long before the fire came, the kingdom of Judah was already cracking from within. Kings rose and fell. Alliances shifted between Egypt and Mesopotamia. Our rulers swore loyalty, then betrayed it. Prophets walked our streets warning us. A great power will come from the east. It will not spare stone or soul. But the people laughed. We had survived Assyria. We had survived civil war. Surely we would survive again. The empire that rose was stronger than any we had ever known. Its armies marched beneath towering banners. Its war engines shook the earth. Its ruler was Nebuchadnezzar II, master of siege, crusher of cities. At first he came not as a destroyer, but as a warning. Judah became a vassal state. Tribute was paid. Hostages were taken. Among those taken away were princes, scribes, and young nobles. We told ourselves, this humiliation will pass. Then our king betrayed Babylon. Against all counsel, against all warnings, he swore loyalty to Egypt. When word reached the Eastern Empire, the answer was swift. Armies marched, siege towers rolled, the trap closed, the city was surrounded. No bread entered the gates, no water flowed in the streets. Parents watched children starve. Day after day, the drums pounded. And still, the gates remained shut. Then one night, the sky turned red. The battering rams broke through the northern wall. Soldiers poured through the streets like floodwater. Houses burned. People screamed. The old and the young alike were cut down. Our king tried to flee. He was captured. His sons were executed before his eyes. Then his eyes were destroyed. So the last thing he ever saw was the death of his line. But the worst was yet to come. At the center of the city stood Solomon's temple. For nearly 4 centuries, it had been the dwelling place of God on earth. Now, foreign soldiers stormed its courts. The gold was stripped. The sacred vessels were smashed. The inner sanctuary was violated. Then fire was set. Flames consumed cedar beams anointed with generations of prayer. Stone cracked, smoke swallowed the sky. That night, not only our city burned, our universe collapsed. When morning came, the city was quiet. Those not killed were gathered in the streets. Elders, craftsmen, priests, children. Iron cuffs closed around our wrists. The long road east began. Behind us lay blackened ruins. Ahead of us lay an unknown world. The march lasted for months, through deserts, through foreign towns, through lands whose languages we did not understand. Many collapsed along the road. The old were left behind. The sick were discarded. Finally, in the distance, we saw it, the great city of Babylon. Its walls rose like mountains. Its gates shone with bronze and gold. Its temples pierced the heavens. We arrived not as conquerors, but as prisoners. To our surprise, we were not thrown into dungeons. We were allowed to build homes. We were given work. But our freedom was an illusion. We lived under foreign law. We spoke foreign tongues. Our children learned foreign gods. By the rivers we wept for Zion. Songs became prayers. Prayers became memories. And memories became all we had left. Without a temple, we feared our faith would die. Sacrifices could not be made. Festivals lost their center. The divine presence felt distant. Some abandoned the old ways. Others clung fiercely to the law. Teachers gathered people in homes. Scrolls were copied. Traditions were preserved. In the land of our defeat, Judaism was reforged. Among the exiles rose voices that refused to let hope die. One spoke beside the ruined city, warning until the very end that destruction was coming. Another prophesied among the captives that return would one day be possible. Their message was not comfort at first. It was truth. You were not defeated by Babylon, they said. You were broken by your own betrayal. Only through repentance, they taught, could restoration come. Years turned into decades. Children born in chains became adults who had never seen the land of their ancestors. Old men who remembered the temple died with its image still burning in their minds. Entire generations knew Judah only as a story, and still we waited. The empire that conquered us did not last forever. New rulers came. Priests quarreled with kings. The heart of Babylon weakened. Its final ruler was Nebuchadnezzar, a man more devoted to distant gods than to his own capital. For years he abandoned the city, leaving it leaderless. Discontent spread. The great beast that devoured Jerusalem began to rot from within. Then whispers reached the exiles. A new power was rising beyond the mountains. A king who conquered not by terror alone, but by policy, tolerance, and cunning. His name was Cyrus the Great. City after city fell before him. Kingdoms opened their gates without a fight, and Babylon waited. The fall came without fire. While the city celebrated, armies moved along diverted river channels. Gates were taken without alarms. The empire that destroyed Jerusalem collapsed in a single night. For the first time in 50 years, our captors no longer ruled us. Then came words no captive had ever heard before. A royal decree was proclaimed across the empire. All peoples taken from their lands may return. All gods may be worshipped freely. All temples may be rebuilt. At first we did not believe it. Then we saw the seals. We read the words, and the truth struck us like thunder. We were free. Not all returned. Many had built lives in foreign soil, but thousands gathered their families. Old men wept as they prepared to walk home one last time. Children stepped onto roads their ancestors had walked in chains. Now they walked in hope. When the city came into view again, there were no shining towers, no sacred smoke rising from the courts, only broken walls, only wild animals among the stones. The Temple Mount was empty, and yet the people fell to their knees. This ruined city was still home. The rebuilding would take decades. Enemies would resist. Famine would return. Fear would remain. The new temple would never match the glory of the first, but it would stand, not as a symbol of empire, but as a symbol of survival. Babylon destroyed our kingdom. It silenced our monarchy. It erased our independence. It burned the very heart of our faith. But it failed to destroy our identity. Because in exile we learned, a nation is not its walls. A faith is not its building. A people is not its throne. A people survives through memory, through law, through hope. And by the rivers of Babylon, we planted the roots of survival. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and keep exploring the world's history with us.